Just imagine stealing a beach. Imagine like you call the cops like
GTA 6.
911, how may I help you? Yeah, so my beach has been stolen. But
welcome to the first episode of the second season of the Copilots, The Climb. Good morning, afternoon, or good evening, or whenever you're listening to this. My name is Vishwa, and joining me is Tobias. And today we'll be starting our first episode of the second season. Very exciting stuff. What's our topic for today?
Today we're going to be talking about the future. We are going to be predicting what the world is going to be looking like in 2040, 2050, give or take. Not so much on a personal level, but more so just globally speaking.
Yeah. Awesome, yeah. That sounds great.
And before that, we're still going to be doing a bit of a status update on where we're at in life and why we're still doing this bullshit.
Exactly. Exactly. We'll do our status update, our most renowned one, and then have a fun rapid fire questions segment. And after that, we'll move on to the segue into our main topic of the episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's start with updates. How you been doing this last week?
I've been very good. So the last few weeks, I've mainly been traveling. I went back to Finland, saw some friends there. I also visited Sweden and the 3 Baltic states, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. Some hidden gems over there, I must say. Like, not too many people visit them, but if you get the chance, you totally should. But yeah, it was actually pretty intense. I was seeing friends pretty much every day, so I had shit to do, even more so than on some of the work days here. But yeah, so I spent roughly 2 days in every country on average, a bit longer in Finland though. But yeah, it was a very sort of rapid fire trip. But before we get to the rapid fire part of this podcast, we are going to be talking about Vish's status updates.
Yeah,
our technical manager.
Yeah, no, it's been good. It's been a lot of work. Been really busy. This week was a lot about testing. We are in our testing campaign at Delft, and the main objective of this is to turn on our fuel cell on our test bed for the very first time. Yeah. And basically test our whole powertrain for the first time with hydrogen. So that's very exciting stuff. And yeah, I was there in the first 3 days of this week and had very long work hours. Yeah, like Monday I was working there for 14 hours. Yeah. Tuesday 16 hours. And on Wednesday was another 10 hours, but yeah, we stopped 10 because the partner that we were working with, they also left.
Exactly. They got too tired. Like, these guys would have kept on going for like 8 more hours, but
yeah, we wanted to achieve a lot with them, and we did as much as we could, and we did achieve a lot with them.
Yeah, that's
and it was enough for us to kind of be on our own and test on our own from now on. Yeah. And get some of their remote support if needed for some parts. Yeah. But that was mostly a green light from their part. Cool. So yeah, a lot of things we did for the first time, and it was a lot of things I learned. A lot of things we did first time myself as our team, but also first time in Delft, and yeah, getting closer to our mission statement of to proving and promoting liquid hydrogen as an alternative sustainable to fuels in aviation.
It's really awesome.
Yeah, so that was one of the really fun things I did in the week, but also tiring. Yeah. And then I've just been back and just doing regular stuff. But yeah, no, like I learned a lot from the testing week. It was definitely a lot of new things in terms of there's always things you don't know that will come up as issues. So it's always good to have a good amount of sort of buffer time to troubleshoot potential issues.
And as a technical manager, did you have more of an oversight role, or were you also doing the nitty-gritty of the testing?
Oh, this time more so just the latter, just helping out because everyone sort of knew, from organizational standpoint, I helped in terms of finding what we still need to do, and then make action points for the teams. Okay, this is what we need to do before today, and then just help wherever there's help needed. Because this is now testing. There's no. I'm focused on testing now, and I was helping around wherever there's needed. So if electronics people needed some help out there, if the powertrain people needed some help, or the test bed help there. So trying to find wherever there's like a lack of manpower or there's an issue to be solved. Yeah, that's cool. Just did that, and then I also had to go fetch some parts in the east of the country real quick. Yes. Not really quick, but Yeah, it was just like in the middle of nowhere, and I was just there at some random house.
Yeah.
And they had like literally like a hidden factory there. It was kind of cool. But then I just picked up some parts there, like 100 kilometers. It was just really on the border of Germany, pretty much. Yeah, and I just drove back.
That really sounds like a rapid fire type of mission, which sort of reminds me of something that we were supposed to be doing.
Exactly. Rapid fire.
All right. Favorite instrument? Go.
Ooh.
No, you
favorite
cannot.
Instrument.
You cannot name a rapper.
What about 6ix9ine?
Okay.
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 No. Okay. I'll give a normal answer. Instrument wise, for me, I'd say it's either a piano or a guitar. Because piano is quite versatile.
Yeah.
In the sense that you could play it in a lot of types of music, and also guitar, because you have electric guitar and stuff. And guitar is also, I would say, a lot more mobile, to be fair. So you can kind of play it in many locations.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your favorite?
Marimba. Google it if you don't know. But as a pianist, I would have to concur to what Fish said about the piano. It's a great instrument. It's very versatile, but indeed it can be a pain in the ass to drag along, and that's indeed what we usually don't do as pianists. So yeah, you just get a keyboard if you really want to play somewhere that doesn't have a piano already.
Fair.
I also really like the violin, viola. They're great for classical music and just older stuff, which I also really enjoy listening to, especially if I'm doing like work and shit like that. But yeah, then from the 69 type of instruments, I guess, like people already know I'm a fan of Eminem, so that's still out there.
Do they know that?
I think I mentioned it in one of the first episodes.
Yeah.
At least briefly.
Yeah.
But yeah, on top of Eminem, I would say 50 Cent is also pretty solid.
Okay.
It's like 19 less than 69, but still.
Yeah. I understand. That's cool. That's all for that first question.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next question. So, in an alleyway, Tobias.
Yes.
You find yourself, you have a choice. Either face one large dog or face 10 house cats.
Right.
And for, let's say they're the 10 cats weigh the same as the one dog. So you get a feel of the, it's a big dog.
Yeah, gotcha.
And they're all stray. So
exactly.
Who would you
None
rather,
are domesticated.
Yeah. Who would you rather fight?
What's the rabies risk with the dog?
So I think because it's a stray dog, you have a pretty good chance of getting rabies if you get bit by the dog.
Yeah, like I do have the vaccination, but I'm not sure if I can trust that. It was just one shot.
I don't think cats can give you rabies, as far as I know.
Yeah, I doubt it. I haven't heard of any cases like that either. So yeah. Okay, I have to admit, I gave it some thought before the episode, and I think my exchange ratio would come somewhere around 7 or 8 to 1. So I would have a slight preference for the one dog over the 10 cats, just because I feel like fighting 10 cats simultaneously, it would be like way too overwhelming.
Right.
But if it's 5 cats or the big dog, then 5 cats, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, any day of the week.
Fair enough. Yeah, like I went for the 10 cats simply because of the rabies thing.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah, because we were talking about it a bit before the episode, and you said if there wasn't rabies in the question, I think I would still go with the cats mainly because of the if a dog bites you, the teeth.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
That's true.
And have you seen the videos of the military dogs who take down the guys? And they really just sure it won't be a military trained dog, but imagine a stray dog.
It's a stray dog, it makes ways in the streets. It was too rough for the military. Rough, but I wasn't even trying.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. So I think it's just a long day if you get bit by a dog.
Yeah, no, that's true.
For me, I think I would take a dog if it was 20 cats or something.
Oh yeah, no.
Because then it's just you cannot see anything. You're just bombarded with cats.
So your exchange rate goes somewhere between 10 and 20 to 1.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, maybe 15 is a tipping point.
That's cool.
But yeah, it's that's what I think.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
All right. So send your cats to Vishwa and send your dogs to me, and you can see the mail office where you have to send them to right here on the screen.
Yes.
Enjoy the editing, bro.
Oh my god. Thanks. Third question. What's the largest land animal you think you could take in its natural habitat?
Elephants, for sure. No. I've had this conversation with some other friends of mine, and I think we sort of settled down with an ostrich. Like the thing is, it's hella fast, so I don't think I could really chase it down. Just imagine how comical it would look like me chasing an ostrich somewhere in the savannah.
Okay.
But
yeah, ostrich, aren't they really tall though?
They're really tall. That's the thing. But
and
I feel like
their beaks, they could like.
They could, but like the thing is, I would just grab the neck like real hard.
Right.
Not gonna go into too much graphic detail on what I do with the ostrich, but like.
I mean, you could make a knot with his neck.
That would be pretty hilarious. Like, I'd be rich.
To be fair, I remember I also discussed ostrich. I think it's a pretty good bet with that.
Yeah,
one.
exactly.
I mean, if you grab the neck, it's pretty. I don't know what are they.
Yeah, like maybe it can kick you, but then again, like they have chicken legs. They have ostrich legs.
They haven't been hitting the gym.
Yeah, exactly. Like
that's true.
Yeah, bro's been skipping leg day like crazy.
Yeah.
Like last time this guy was doing legs was like pre-COVID.
Exactly. No, it was no.
Pre-World War II.
But ostrich, what if
Pre-British Empire? Okay.
It has to be a mammal? What about a mammal? So largest mammal you could take?
I don't know, like, a leprechaun donkey would be like perfectly in my ballpark.
A centaur.
You're so right, true. Okay. Yeah, I could definitely take out a centaur any day of the week. Like last Thursday, you should have seen me go at this guy. You guys tried to cut me in the queue at the local Burger King. I don't think so, Mr. Centaur. Anyways, no, like genuinely, a small donkey I could definitely like just shove aside and push down.
But this is a fight, so you're heading on to each other, and you have to beat them. So it doesn't mean you have to kill them.
Are they wearing gloves or
are they wearing gloves?
10-ounce gloves or 12-ounce gloves?
No headgear.
No headgear. Fuck. Okay.
Fine. Only donkey gear. Only donkey gear.
How about you?
I would say the largest. So in terms of weight, I think a zebra.
No way.
I think I could take.
No way. Bro's capping like hell.
Yes, I could.
No, you couldn't.
Okay, a zebra's coming.
Yeah.
Right? Dodge, bam, right up to the head, and it's out.
Why couldn't you do that with an elephant or a fucking hippo if you can't do it with a zebra?
Because the elephant is too heavy. I don't think it can. So I'm talking about. I looked into the different zebras there exist. There's a
weight class
mountain zebra.
Yeah, okay.
Those are the lightest ones.
Yeah.
Around 300 kilos.
Yeah. 1,300.
300.
Thank God. Yeah, okay. So like around your weight class.
Bit less so. Sidestep, bam, and then it's. What is it gonna do?
You know you're giving me some really bad ideas right now. Let's just say somebody's birthday is coming up pretty soon and they haven't specified any birthday wishes yet, so...
I've never done that.
I know.
But, yeah. And second would be maybe... a second would be a kangaroo.
Okay. Honestly, I feel like a kangaroo might be a pretty good call.
Yeah, because they seem to sometimes fight on their feet and they... Seem like a pretty orthodox boxer to me, you know?
Yeah, honestly. Yeah.
So I think I can like slip some punches and just...
Oh, for sure.
Right?
Yeah, and if they have a cub, it's even easier for you because like...
Yeah, and I think they weigh around the same as a normal human, roughly.
I think, a bit more maybe, but like, same ballpark.
Sure. But less than a zebra, so then I would... and maybe like, in between with like a wild hog or something.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, honestly, like I feel like a hog would be like really sturdy on its 4 feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe even... I feel like...
But it won't attack you.
Yeah, knocking out a zebra might even be easier than a hog. I don't know. Like, that's how sturdy a hog seems to me.
Fair.
Yeah.
My hog seems pretty sturdy to me too. Alright, cut this out. Alright, next question. It's a fun one. Where do you see the world in 2050?
Alright, let's split this into some segments because that's a very broad question. Since this is an aerospace pod, I think we could talk about where we see the aviation industry in 2050, then the space exploration scene, but then also some other, I guess, technological features of society.
Sure.
Okay, I'll get started on aviation, for example.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I think we're still gonna have massive passenger aviation all around the world. more so in the global south as well, because I feel like there's been quite a lot of, I guess, economic growth and development over these decades. There's going to be a lot of hydrogen aviation and electrified flying, especially for short to medium range distances. So anything from, I don't know, 500 kilometers to, I don't know, 4, maybe even 5,000 kilometers. But I feel like intercontinental travel is still going to require probably sustainable aviation fuel or some like derivative thereof. But yeah, I don't really see aviation dying as an industry. Like even though in Europe, for example, we have these initiatives that try to incentivize people to reduce their flying, especially on domestic routes where you have like bullet trains operating. Like in the small scale, sure, it might lower the flying and the emissions produced in some wealthy European countries where you have a good rail network. But on a global level, I think aviation is going to keep on going up.
Exactly, yeah.
And like it's not only for the bad, because like it still lets you see the world. You become, I guess, more sort of tolerant and acknowledging of different cultures, religions, etc. And right now, aviation is like between 2 and 4% of global emissions. So it's not like we're problem number 1 or even number 2.
I think I mostly agree with you. I definitely don't see it dying aviation by 2050. I think it will be bigger than ever.
Oh, for sure.
Definitely a lot of hydrogen aircraft for the short, medium haul as well, and electric aircraft as well. I see, but hydrogen taking much of the bigger like medium haul market, and a lot of the higher end of the short haul. And I think a lot more private aircraft, flying vehicles.
Also UAVs actually.
UAVs. The urban air mobility sorts of vehicles, and these will be these sort of privately owned vehicles will be more electric or hydrogen based. I definitely see a lot more of that booming, and it will be more common for people to say, "Oh yeah, I have this small, or I have this plane at home, or not home, but I own this vehicle that flies."
And what do you think about air taxis?
Air taxis?
Yay or nay?
I say yay to a certain extent. Like I see it working, to some extent. I mean, there's always a market for something. I mean, the world's so big, and you can't. Somebody can't neglect it. It's definitely not. It's not like a bad idea. I think.
Fair.
But yeah, I do see it. I do see a possibility in it.
Yeah, that's valid. Like I'm personally a bit skeptical. Like I'm not sure if it would be a good sort of replacement for regular taxis, but I'd say for like medium long journeys, and what I mean by that is like what would be a very long taxi journey, so anything from like 100 to 300 kilometers. I think that ballpark you might have air taxis.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Nobody's gonna grab an air taxi from like one end of Manhattan to the other for 15 kilometers or something like that.
I see it more between cities, so taxi between two close by cities.
Like from Amsterdam to Brussels.
Oh yeah,
that's fair.
And I also see it happening in US a lot, because
for sure.
Especially because of their they don't have a lot of trains. A lot of they have to take taxis to go between cities sometimes. Ubers or something. So there I see a possibility to make that travel quicker.
Valid.
And I think wherever there's less public transport, I think it makes sense. Because if you had good public transport in Europe, for example, not really big of a need. But that's what I mean. Like it will be possible, just not here maybe.
By the way, I just realized that we should do a reaction episode to this in the 2050s.
Oh
See how our predictions held up.
Season 57, episode 5 or
sure, something like that.
Yeah. No, indeed. But I think that's what I do see also is that after 2050 or maybe 50 years later to 2070 or something. It will, or 2100. It will be vastly different. Like aviation will be. I don't even know if there will be hydrogen we're using or electric batteries.
Which something probably we haven't even come up with yet.
Exactly. I think it will be vastly different. Vastly different.
For sure. But travel isn't going anywhere.
Oh yeah, one thing. One way to make like hydrogen could be also brought into a lot of the medium haul with hydrogen combustion. Probably 2060, 2070 is realistically because then you can fly further, and then the volume issue isn't a big problem anymore, I guess, with liquid hydrogen. And then maybe with hydrogen combustion, then maybe long haul, but
Yeah.
that's, you know, it really depends. But maybe by then we have to find something else. But yeah, that's where I see hydrogen. That's where aviation, at least. What do you think for space?
Yeah, that's something I wanted to touch base with as well. And I think for space, we've definitely done a lot of manned missions to Mars by 2050, for sure by 2040 as well. Had you asked me 5 years ago, I would have said the same for 2030. Nowadays, I'm not so sure anymore, but like, I'd say we're probably going to go around the turn of the decade, 2020s to 2030s.
Yeah.
I definitely think we're going to have a lunar, maybe not a colony, but some sort of a resource extraction protocol. Also because of gravitational issues, it's just a lot easier to launch from the moon to the rest of the solar system than to launch from planet Earth. Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think we're probably going to have in-orbit manufacturing around the Earth, potentially around the moon as well. But yeah, all of that being said, so like I definitely think that the whole space exploration industry is going to go light years ahead in the next couple of decades. We're still not going to see like large-scale human civilizations in space. I don't think we're going to even reach fully the level 1 of the Kardashev scale that we talked about in a previous episode.
Yeah.
And yeah, like these biodome environments on Mars, the moon, anything like that. Like maybe we're gonna have some tryouts here on Earth, like see how that would happen. But I don't see us really like scaling that out to different planets in the solar system in the next 30 years. Maybe by the end of the century, especially if there's like an existential disaster that happens on planet Earth. But if there's no need for that, then I think most likely we're just going to be more, I guess, pragmatic with the way we're going to take space exploration to the next levels.
What about domes on the moon? Do you think that's possible?
I think, yeah, domes on the moon, I think it's relatively possible, and that would also be like a good sort of a prototype test rather than taking it all the way to Mars, because like that's... like I'm kind of skeptical about the whole Mars plan. It's cool, we should definitely visit it, but like it's not gonna be the new Earth, and it doesn't have to be a bad thing. But yeah, I think lunar domes, it's a relatively realistic vision. Like I'd be hesitant to say that we're definitely gonna have them by 2050, but I'd say 2070. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
What do you think about the future of space travel and exploration?
Yeah, for space travel, I'm definitely excited for the century. I'm definitely excited for the century.
Yeah.
In 2050, I think, we'll have a lot more missions ongoing into space than now, and hopefully more human missions. Like the moon, I think that will be the possibility. And if we really don't have like some sort of thing on the moon, then I don't know. I feel like then we're kind of not developing as fast enough or as fast enough as we even used to. Yeah,
the moon is very achievable. Like we went there in the 60s.
Exactly.
We didn't even have proper computers back then.
Yeah. And maybe in 2050 we'll be thinking of a mission to Mars or something, or it will be in the works at least. And the moon was already been sort of set up as a possible launch site or something. That would be really cool. There's not much time left, to be fair. It's only 27 years.
Yeah, exactly. And like the space industry takes a long time with their projects. Like everything gets delayed, but even like the initial timeline, it's in the 10s to 20 years, like ballpark.
It's actually funny because a couple of days ago I met André Kuipers, the Dutch astronaut who went to the ISS, and I asked him some questions about this actually, and he lived in the ISS for like 6 months, and he really liked space, and he would really want to go back. But I asked him, what does he think about space, moon and Mars, and he said that he really thinks Mars. He thinks we'll go there to Mars, but he is sort of he's skeptical on when it will actually happen, because he said 25 years ago, like he said. 25 years ago I said we'll go to Mars, but here we are, and still not on Mars.
And like even from our childhood, like we thought it was going to happen in the early 2020s. It's late 2023 now, and there's no like mission schedule.
Exactly. But it's I don't know. It's we have the capability to do it.
Yeah, we do.
But it just doesn't. Because if it's humans involved, then you want them to be safe and come back. And Mars isn't known for its hospitable landings.
Yeah.
That being said, I think so. His main point was he does see it happening, and we have a better chance of seeing it in our lifetime than his.
Oh, for sure.
Quite optimistic in that point of view. And he also said something about the moon, being a good first playground sort of to try out our
it's like our
basis.
sandbox.
Yeah, literally our sandbox.
Yeah. A fun fact: did you know that we're running out of sand right now?
Actually,
literally,
seriously?
the world is running out of sand. I'm not capping. I'm not capping fish. I'm not capping you guys. There's a lot of great videos and news articles about this, but we have enough sand, but it's not the right type of sand that can be utilized for construction and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, and apparently there's a big underground sand market, like a global thing, and it's kind of it's outlawed, obviously, because it's not a very sort of professional way of running operations, and apparently some sand pirates stole a beach somewhere in the Caribbean because they had the right type of sand, so they got millions of dollars worth of I don't know, just money in return for selling out that sand in the black market. No, but just imagine stealing a beach. Imagine you call the cops
GTA 6
911, how may I help you? Yeah, so my beach has been stolen.
But this is then regular beach sand, or is it a specific type of beach sand or something?
I'm honestly not sure, but look into it. It's actually interesting.
Cool. That's cool.
Yeah, something that I feel like is gonna change literally everyone's lives in the next, not even 2 decades, but just the coming decade, is the rise of AI. Yeah, just large language models like ChatGPT 3.5 and 4, and their upcoming successors as well. What do you think work is going to look like in, say, 2040 or 2050, especially in relation to the rise of AI? And are there going to be a lot of jobs and industries that are just going to be wiped out? What's your 2 cents on this?
Yes, there will be. It just makes sense. I mean, as a business, the business people will obviously try to find a solution that costs them the least money and time. And AI manages to do that quite well with a lot of things already, and a lot of jobs that we see now are gonna be just completely replaced by AI. A lot of different kinds of things, and but I do see people sort of having sort of more smart jobs or sort of jobs that are we'll have to learn to work smarter essentially. And all the hard work will sort of be replaced by AI and robots. To some extent.
Sure.
And I think that's just sort of it's a good thing, because then obviously some of the education people had might get outdated or something, but it just shows the world we live in, and you have to be so fast or updated
adaptive.
Adaptive. You have to adapt with it. But AI is a thing now, but it was not it's not a new thing that happens in the world. Last century there's plenty of things that sort of happened similar to AI that took away a lot of jobs. For example, every industrial revolution had something that replaced a lot of old jobs by some machinery or something else, and it's just another one of those things. And as long as we adapt to it, we'll be fine. AI, I think people make it seem to be so visceral or scary, and it can be, but I'm sure people thought of computers the same way back in the day.
Exactly.
And now everyone's sort of glad they exist, right? I mean, so that's just what I think.
Fair. I largely agree with everything you've been saying. Something that I find kind of interesting around this debate is the fact that society is always kind of telling its youth to educate yourself as well as you possibly can, but something that is a bit of a trend with the rise of AI is that sometimes it's easier to automate the white collar jobs before it is to automate the blue collar jobs. So we're always going to need mechanics. I'm sure there's going to be mechanics and plumbers and whatever garbage trucks and garbage collectors in the 2050s, but we might not have as many secretaries or lawyers or accountants or consultants, for example. So yeah, that's just an interesting paradox. So like, I guess the moral of the story is like you really can't go wrong with a STEM degree sponsored by TU Delft.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I'm also quite optimistic. Like, and if it gives people more free time, I think that's definitely a positive outlook for the future. But at the same time, I'm not one of those people saying that are saying that you should, you know, like just give everyone a humongous UBI check, like this universal basic income to supplement for the lack of work, because I feel like in the long run, most people, even people that self-report themselves as lazy, would still prefer to be doing something that contributes towards a greater good and I guess society as a whole.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I feel like AI should still be regulated, because I guess there are some sort of unknown knowns that are potential safety hazards. Like if it becomes, I don't know, morally corrupted or something like that, then that might not be exactly beneficial for humankind.
Yeah, and see, I think a lot of jobs will be involved around fixing stuff. Yeah. And I think a lot of jobs will be about like fixing AI.
Debugging.
Debugging, in the sense that, you know, if you have an AI that will, write or do a function, your, job that I see is not exactly, do that function anymore, because that's AI is doing that, but AI will mess up and sometimes there will be some mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to fix that AI.
Yeah.
So your role will be quality assurance or something like that, or like checking, fixing the AI itself instead of fixing the main function it's doing.
Do you remember this quote from English high school class, who's watching the Watchmen?
Yes, I do.
So AI is essentially going to be the watchman, and you're going to be the watcher.
Yep, exactly. On that note, thank you all for watching. This has been the Copilots.
Billy behind me, bro. That was good.
Vishwa and Tobias, and thank you all for watching. This has been the Copilots
signing out.